Hi, everyone, and welcome. Father Lamb here. It's Wednesday. It's October 18th, and today is the feast of St. Luke. St. Luke was an evangelist, as you may know, wrote one of the Gospels. He was not a Jew, and he was quite the writer. He's very educated. His Gospel is written in very high Greek, and he was also an artist and a doctor. And he was one who actually never met Jesus. Jesus already died and rose from the dead, and then Luke came on the scene. And so his gospel is really written from him going around talking to other people. And actually, in the first reading of today's Mass, St. Paul is referring to St. Luke. St. Paul talks about how the fact that he was kind of like left alone. So many people have abandoned him. All he has is St. Luke there. And that kind of ties in with the gospel today, because Jesus in the gospel today sends out 72 actually to go out to preach the good news and beg the harvest master to send more laborers into his vineyard. In other words, pray for vocations. The whole reason we have this twinning going on in our diocese and right here in our own two parishes is because we just don't have enough vocations. Get us some more vocations, everybody has a priest, all good. And so it's kind of puzzling sometimes. We think, well, isn't God calling people to be a priest or sister to religious life in any way? Sure, he's calling us. But there are a lot of different distractions that are happening. We have so many different things pulling us in different directions. It's really hard to hear God underneath all of that. So let's continue to pray for vocations. We certainly need vocations. But I also like to focus on the fact that St. Paul really felt alone at this point too in the gospel today, and he really says, Luke is the only one that was really kind of remaining faithful to him. We all need friends in our spiritual lives. It's very difficult to live a Christian life alone. And Jesus never called us to that. Nobody's the Lone Ranger, right? Even as I've said before, even the Lone Ranger had Tonto, right? We need each other. Jesus sent them out. He sent them out in pairs, not alone. And so if you have a spiritual friend, you have a great gift, and thank God for that friend. If you feel like you don't really have a spiritual friend, somebody that you can talk about spirituality with, pray about it. God will bring someone into your life. Sometimes we have to take a little risk and share our faith with other people, but it's an incredible gift to be able to share with someone else what's going on in our faith life. So bring that to prayer. And one aspect would be, if you do have a spiritual friend, someone you can share with on a spiritual level, thank God for that. And if you feel like that's missing in your life right now, bring it to prayer and ask God to bring someone into your life. And very often what God does is he lets us feel that emptiness. He lets us to feel sort of the loneliness. And we experience that like, man, I wish I had a spiritual friend, somebody I could talk about these things with. And he lets us feel that emptiness and loneliness. And then he answers the prayer. And we really appreciate it. And it's a tremendous gift. I've had that happen in my own life more than a couple times. So this week, let's pray for vocations. Ask God to open up the hearts of young men and women to follow his call to the priesthood and sisterhood, and also to the sacrament of marriage as well. And let's thank God if we have friends that we can share our spirituality with. And let's also ask God to bring more spiritual friends into our lives. God bless you.